Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 2. It feels so weird going backwards in numbers
Yeah.
of Sik and Nick's Flicks, where we took all of the movie tangents that we were wasting time with on the main show, the XboxEra podcast, and give them to just our patrons and our YouTube members, just for lols. It's live, but it's a shorter show. It's not too big of a deal, but it's for you guys because who doesn't love hanging out with me and Nick, right? And obviously we've got Jesse doing producing things. What do you mean you don't love hanging out with us? You hang out with us every Saturday night, and now
I'm kind of sick of it.
Some Friday nights too, right?
I'm happy to be here. Hello, everyone. Overtime.
But yes, it is Friday night. It is time to discuss some movies. And this week, as per the previous episode, we kind of already teed up a couple. We decided to hook on to the newest kiddie release with Super Mario Brothers. And then Nick insisted on a movie title that is quite apt, and it's called Very Bad Things, and we'll get into that. But we'll talk about Super Mario Brothers first, right?
Super Mario. Loved it.
Nick, do you want to start us off? How do you feel about Super Mario Brothers?
It was great. Loved it. Family loved it. We went and saw it, and it was everything I expected. Like, I can understand why the critics were a bit harsh on it, because
as a movie,
critics are weird. Yeah, as a movie, like I think the Sonic movies are better as movies, but this was true Nintendo, highly polished, tapped into all the right nostalgic beats and all the little Easter eggs and all that sort of stuff, and it was very, very fun. It was like, I don't know, like it's great.
It's great.
Music was great.
Like, if you were to give your star score to it, like, is there how high are you willing to go here with it was great?
I don't know, 4.5.
4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I know, but remember, I've said before, I'm easy to please. Like, it was, it was all you could have asked for from a Mario movie. Like, and yes, Chris Pratt's voice still not great. Like,
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine.
Like, it wasn't as terrible. His voice wasn't as terrible as I was expecting it to be. I'm actually surprised at how much I thought Charlie Day's voice didn't fit.
Was that the guy who played Luigi?
Yeah, and Seth Rogen's.
Well, Seth Rogen is famous for, he was like, I don't do voices. If you want me to voice this character, it'll just sound like Seth Rogen. And
just sound like Seth Rogen. Yeah, and I didn't think Seth Rogen quite worked, just from the sound coming out of Donkey Kong's mouth.
Yeah.
Peach, amazing. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach, amazing. Jack Black is, oh my God, Jack Black is Bowser.
I mean, the musical number with Jack Black, I was like, okay.
Peaches.
They were like,
Peaches. That was great. You could tell that was made up on the spot. That was 100% made up on the spot. Yeah. No, it was good. Like, I thought it was paced very quickly.
I'd say a little too quickly, personally.
Yeah, well, they were cramming it all into what? And now was it an hour and a half? It's only like an hour and a half movie.
Virtually, yeah. Well, I think it was just over, maybe, but not by much.
It went at quite a clip.
Yeah, it was very, very quick.
Yeah, like, it's funny, I was waiting. So while I was watching the movie, I was waiting for the title screen to show up so I could take a photo to post on Twitter. Hey, watching the Mario movie. And that title screen did not come. I'm like, this is going to be the longest cold open in history. The title screen came at the end of the movie. So I'm like, oh, that was interesting.
It was so, like, as a kid's movie, like as a baseline, would an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, 12-year-old enjoy it? Fine. Like, and I smirked at a couple of obvious slapstick puns, like the assault course bit where he's like the training montage. Yeah, he's trained up now. Like they did that in like 3 minutes. Like, yeah, and it was funny. Like the bit where he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." He gave her the eye, and the piranha plant just comes down and like noms him. Like all of the standard illumination style animation. It's very bright, very colourful. But and don't get me wrong, you're right. They crammed in all the Easter eggs. You had the original voice actor for Mario. Was it
Yes,
Matinee?
he was there.
He appeared.
Yep.
He was there at the intro, and he was like, "I love the
Yep.
voices you've done in that advert." Woohoo!
Yeah,
He also
it was good.
voiced the father.
Was he also the voice of the father?
Was he?
Oh, I did not know that.
wow.
See,
Interesting.
Jesse, not only with video games but with movies, he's just a fountain of knowledge.
Oh, well, we're going to
wow,
talk
I
about him. I
didn't-
look him up.
I didn't
But-
realize that.
Yeah, like outside of that though, like I came out of it, I was like, that was fine, but it's not going to be a movie I'll watch again and again and again. It's not like a classic. It's one that
It's funny.
when it comes out on home release, my kids will be like, "Dad," and I'll be like, "Yeah, sure," and I'll stick it on. But that's as far as it goes for me. Now, granted, I'm not a Nintendo kid, right? I don't have the same love,
Nostalgic hook.
yeah. But like I
Mm.
got all the nods, I got all the funny beats, and it did make me laugh several times. Like it wasn't offensive in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not gonna like be real harsh or down on it, but it was
Yeah.
not as a movie this incredible piece of art. It was a very, very quick
Safe.
cash
Very
in,
safe.
safe. Yeah.
Yep. And that's
Um,
okay.
and that
That's
is
fine.
okay.
There's,
That is okay.
There's room for that. Like, and it's funny you say I wouldn't watch it again because everyone I've spoken to so far is the complete opposite. Like my wife's like, I want to see it again. And my cousin went and took her girls and she was like, I could watch that 50 times. Like
But why-
everyone I've
why-
spoken
like, I don't know, but why?
I
would
just
you?
loved it. I don't know. It was so wholesome, I guess. Maybe it was just because it was so wholesome and tapped into that nostalgia and all that sort of stuff. Maybe I guess that's why. Like I could watch it again just fine.
They really love
Um,
that paint by numbers, hero's journey, thin plot, garbage movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not garbage. Why are you being
As a
like those
movie-
critics? Why
as
are
a
you being like
movie-
those critics? It's okay to like safe stuff. It's okay to like
Yeah,
something.
don't get me
that's
wrong. I have
safe and-
tons of guilty pleasures, but it didn't. You know, outside of the
PlayStation's
fact that
built
it's
their
Mario,
entire foundation on safe.
Yeah, they do.
Everyone loves it. It's okay.
I don't know.
As a movie, the plot doesn't have to be super. Like John Wick doesn't have a great plot, but
No.
at least the writing
right.
has to be occasionally like. There was nothing for a parent that isn't into it, which is what the really good kid movies have. What was there is if you're a parent who's into Mario, because that movie is entirely carried by being gorgeous and by being referential.
Yeah.
As an actual movie, the plot and the pacing and everything, it's not good. But
well-
as a reference piece, and people are like, oh, see, if you just make a movie of the game, it's really good. It's like you do that with almost any other game and not the most popular IP in gaming history. It's not going to do this.
Yeah, it's not going to have
No,
the same
and I
effect. I
said-
would agree with that.
Like I said the Sonic movies are better as movies.
Yes,
They are better actual in terms of how they're structured, in terms of how they're paced, and in terms the Sonic movies are better movies. And Britt's mentioning the Lego movie. The Lego movie is a better movie
The Lego
as
movie
well.
is an astounding like piece of
as
like,
an actual
really.
movie. As an actual movie, they're better movies. But yeah, like again, I can totally see why it's the top grossing animated movie of all time. The fact that it's the Nintendo IP is obviously doing the most of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Well, the
'cause
people have been
yes,
waiting for.
She's right. If it wasn't Mario, most of what's happening in that movie would just fall flat. And like I saw Punch Out. There was an old retro store in the background, and it was a Punch Out store. And I was like, oh, I love Punch Out so much. I was like,
Yeah,
No, wasn't it
that
Punch
doesn't
Out
make
Pizza?
the movie good.
it was Punch Out
Yeah.
Pizza.
That doesn't make the movie good. That's just tapping into the nostalgia and my love of Punch Out. So all that stuff was cool, and it was cool seeing the fire flowers, and it was cool, when I saw Mario about to eat the blue mushroom, I already knew straight away he was going to turn tiny. It was all just
You know what?
references and
It was for me. It's like it was a movie of when a band goes out on stage and says, "Hey, city we're in, we love you," and they get the cheap pop. It was just that,
Yeah,
what's a reference we can throw in over and over again wnever the plot's getting too boring to get a cheap
Yeah.
pop going? And they knew they needed to do that. because Illumination wants as many viewings as they can get, so they never go over 90 minutes if they can avoid it. And so they just crammed a 2.5-hour movie, if you actually play it outright, into 90 minutes.
Yeah,
and you can
about
tell
the hero's journey was too quick for me. I was just like, oh, okay, we're here already.
but you can also tell that Nintendo were very hands-on with it.
Yeah, like a lot of the references, whoever researched it for the animators to get, to put it together and give so many nods, like so many musical riffs and bounces off of classic Mario themes. Like there was a lot to love as a Mario fan, like 100%. I can get why a lot of people that fit in that mold are like, yeah. But yeah, you could tell Nintendo in particular were like, no, you can't do that. I mean, I was pleased / surprised that they didn't have him, like they referenced how he talks in the ad right at the beginning, like woohoo and all of the stuff from the games, but no, because in order to carry a film, they can't have him talking like that, which becomes very obvious, and that's what made Chris Pratt okay. But then when he gets into it, he's kind of like into that character. The only thing for me at the end, like, and obviously, spoilers, listeners, right, was
Mario wins in the end, everyone.
Oh yeah, no, but
spoiler alert.
He didn't.
Like, Mario wins in the end.
Great, Mario's invincible. Like there was no skill, there was no like he's learned something. He just got a power up and just was like,
he got the star. He got the invincibility star.
That was a bit like.
It was good. I liked. And the Mario Kart sequence was fantastic. That was so well done. The Mario Kart part, and
it was
they selected their karts just like in Mario Kart and in Mario Kart 8. I like, fitting. Super Mario Odyssey was probably the most referenced of the Mario games there. Yeah, Odyssey, mate, the best. But was it? It was good. It was good at that very. Again, don't go in there expecting an amazing movie. Like, go in there if you're a Nintendo fan and a Mario fan. Yes, go in and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah,
I like the Wrecking Crew right at the start. The Wrecking Crew dude, because the Wrecking Crew I think came out before Mario, so that was a little nod to the Wrecking Crew game.
Yeah,
which I thought was cool. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure the Wrecking Crew came out.
I liked the 2D animation sequence at the beginning as well with the platforming. Like that was fun.
Yeah, there it is. Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew, I think, is Mario and another person.
Jumpman.
Yeah, that's what they called him.
Junkman.
Yes. Actually, it came out before Mario. So I like that little throwback. Again, it was like if you're a Nintendo fan, you saw like, and I'm sure I didn't get a lot of the references that a full-on hardcore diehard Nintendo fan probably got. I got most of them, I think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that again when it comes out. It's apparently supposed to be coming home. It's supposed to be coming home like first week of May or something. 9th of May,
it was like
or something like that.
Crazy, like a month and a half or something nuts, which would really surprise me. Like, are Illumination signed with any streaming service? Like in particular, Peacock.
I think it's Universal is tied with Peacock, and it's
it was a Universal movie.
Yeah, and Universal's tied with Peacock, so I got no problem with it. My kids will watch it again. My wife will watch it again. I'm just trying to think. Like it's an interesting movie to discuss because it's so safe and so shallow and so like what can you say? Like they crammed a lot into an hour and a half.
They did.
He's just here's our intro to Mario. Your stock standard. Here's the two main characters, and then
it is available May 9th for digital.
May 9th.
Wow,
that's quick.
Like you would have thought they'd do an Avatar and just keep it in cinemas and really make as much money as humanly possible, right?
But maybe they weren't expecting it to do as
Come
well as it
on.
did. Maybe
It's a
well,
Mario movie. Of course, it's
Yeah,
going
I
to do
understand that, but there was a Mario movie in the past as well, and it was shit.
well.
So
Yes, there was. I wish we paired. I would have rather have watched Bob Hoskins Mario
I don't
than
want to watch
the
that one
next
again.
movie we're going to speak about. Like, genuinely, would have rather laughed at Bob Hoskins Mario than Peter Berg's Very Bad Things.
No, because you got to remember the highest grossing video game movie of all time is under $500 million. So you can understand why Nintendo and Illumination might not have expected it to do quite this well and been like, okay, well, let's get it out on home streaming and stuff pretty quick and make more money quickly.
Maybe, because the longer they are in cinemas for, a lot of the pirates will come in when the cinema's a bit emptier and, pay off a friend.
What do you mean? Mate, don't worry. You reckon those cam versions aren't there already?
I'm sure they are, but like the really good quality ones that sometimes people leak out, maybe they're just like, you know what, Sodom, we won't give them a chance to get to that point, and we'll just put it out as retail and let people buy it. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe with how well it's doing, they'll push it back and say, well, don't worry about May 9th. We'll do it the end of May or June.
Is that DVD release or just digital buy at home?
I think that's digital. I think that's digital streaming / digital download. I think.
Interesting. But yeah, Mario movie. For me, if I was to give it a star rating, I mean, you were 4.5, 4.5.
I was like, I'll go 4. I'll go 4.
For me, it was middle of the road kids fun. So like it's a 2.5, 3. It's fine. It's inoffensive. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like,
no, that's
I didn't
right.
come out of the
But
cinema
for me,
going,
it tapped in. It tapped into a lot of that stuff for me.
I hated it.
Tapped in.
Hated it? Really, Jesse? You hated it?
I was very bored during it. I didn't hate it. It's well made. It's very pretty, but I got really bored.
Yeah, I can understand why. I like, as someone with 2 kids, I've seen a lot of kids' films, and I know the ones that really go above and beyond and make me go, this is great. Like, these guys have nailed a kids' movie, and they are few and far between, right? So I get it.
And it maybe, like, for me, it could have been the fact that I saw the reviews were very bad. Not very bad, but middling. And the fact that Rise of Gru was so disappointing, the combination of those two things had me worrying a bit. So maybe my expectations were a bit lower as well. Because
that's fair.
I actually quite liked the Despicable Me movies a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Despicable Me 3 in particular I really, really liked. And then I went and watched Rise of Gru, and I'm like, oh my God, this movie is so boring. Like, and I feel like that's probably why Jesse didn't like Mario, because to Jesse, who's not a massive Nintendo person,
Mario.
Watching
I like a lot of
Super
other
Mario
Nintendo stuff. I'd like a Zelda movie. I like Zelda.
I'd love a Zelda movie.
Yeah. And Metroid.
But again, I would if I was gonna see a Zelda movie, I wouldn't want them to go the kid-friendly comedic route. I'd want to go the Studio Ghibli. Give me a late teenage
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like go whole hog.
You don't want Wind Waker?
No.
Twilight Princess. Yeah. Twilight Princess, the dark one.
You want Link as a furry. You want him tearing people apart.
And Metroid, like a dark sci-fi Metroid. Oh, God, that would be so good. But I can understand Jesse with the Mario movie would probably be like me with Rise of Gru. Like, Rise of Gru was exactly everything people complaining about with Mario. I had those complaints with Rise of Gru. It was just so boring and predictable and stupid, cheap, basic jokes, and it didn't have any of that flair that Despicable Me 3 had. So I can understand the complaints about Mario. And that's why I said, with me, Mario, I got all of it. It tapped into all of it for me. So I enjoyed it on that basic level. It was good. I liked it a lot.
But yes, look, hey, from fun kids animated adventure,
ooh boy,
to literally the other end of the scale. We were tasked by Nick to watch Very Bad Things, which is
God, I love
apparently
this
one of
film.
his all-time
loved it.
faves.
No, hold on. I didn't say it's one of my all-time
Give us
favorites.
the story. Yeah, I'm not trying to paint you
I
in a bad
just-
light. Give us the story of
He's a
why
huge Kobe Ty fan. He really likes her. He's way into her, and
Who?
the hooker, prostitute lady, stripper.
Is that her name? I don't know. her
Yes,
name.
she was a famous porn star at the time. That's the
Was she?
that's the reason I heard of the movie was because Howard Stern, I think, was
Sure.
talking about it. It was like, hey, they've got an actual
Ah.
porn star in there. I'm like, oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I had no
Mhm.
idea. I watched that movie when I was like 18. I had no idea that she was an actual
Mhm.
porn star. I just, with that movie, like Very Bad Things. So let me set it up.
Yeah, give us the
'Cause
synopsis.
This
of
is all
those.
spoilers. This is all spoilers and everything. So Very Bad Things. Who's getting married? Who's the one?
Jon
getting married
Favreau.
again?
Jon Favreau's
Yes,
getting married.
Jon
Thin
Favreau's
Jon
getting
Favreau.
married. Yes, Jon Favreau's getting married to Cameron Diaz.
I don't know why, because
And-
she's like horrible to him. The whole beginning of the
yeah.
film, I'm just like,
She's terrible. They want you to hate her.
It's like
and
Mario. It's just for the looks.
They go for the Bucks night or the bachelor party, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
And there's a lot of coke in this hotel room in Vegas. They
No
organize
Pepsi.
a hooker. And Jeremy Piven decides to pay a bit extra to have a happy ending in the bathroom and accidentally
I've never seen
kills
Jeremy
her.
Piven in a role like that. He's always been like the buddy in like
yeah.
all of those like 90s rom-coms. He's always been like the
Yeah,
buddy,
yeah.
the main protagonist, and seeing him like in a
The very
loser
loser
brother.
brother, the loser brother, and he accidentally kills this hooker, right? Accidentally kills it, and so they don't want to get him in trouble. They instantly want to cover it up. But like with anything, when people try to lie and cover up, some people mentally can't lie and don't know how to cover stuff up, especially when it's as serious as murder.
Yeah,
And eventually, over the course of this movie, all you're watching is all these guys one by one start to unravel. And it's, oh my God, it gets so dark. And they literally start to kill each other like one by
Well, I
one.
mean,
It's fucked up.
like
It's
Christian Slater is the main.
the ringleader. He's the ringleader. of it all.
He's the guy that is completely nuts and
Oh, he's a psycho. It's so full on.
completely loony. I mean, look, I love dark films, right? I love but this labels itself as a comedy, and man, it was
A
not
dark
funny.
comedy.
It wasn't funny.
Really?
I didn't
Oh,
laugh
I thought
once.
it-
I didn't go.
I thought it-
like I was
I
just
thought
like,
it had its
this is
moments.
just. It's just. I mean, putting it in a really blunt way, like I get the premise, right? Like I totally understand. Like as a story of like, yeah, like it's not as easy to keep that kind of a secret as you might think. It weighs on the soul.
Yeah.
Right, that's and the premise of how much do you really trust your friends, blah blah blah.
That's
Fine.
right. I loved it.
But here's the problem: none of those characters were likable. None of the actions they took were believable. No
Well, there
one
was
had
no
any-
time spent setting them up. There was
but
no
that's the
time spent
problem.
setting them up at all.
The script was not particularly interesting. I mean, there was very little in what I would classify as a redeeming feature that makes me go, I really would watch that. Like, honestly,
It didn't even look good. It looked cheap.
it was shot. There was lots of Dutch camera angles, and that's not me being derogatory. That's where they
What camera angles?
Dutch
Tilted.
angle is where they tilt it. It's not being derogatory. It's just what it's called. And it just felt so like unpleasant. And to label it as a comedy, like I've watched black comedies. In Bruges is a black comedy.
There,
right?
I'll put you guys in a Dutch angle.
Please don't. But it, that is a comedy that the whole. Have you seen In Bruges?
Yeah, I found it a bit boring.
Right, but the premise, he actually killed a kid, right? But it's
Yeah.
funny throughout. But yeah, if I was to say that sentence, he killed a kid, it's not funny. But they make the film funny through the characters and the actions, and they recently paired up again in the Banshees of Inisherin. If you have seen that again,
Dutch angle. Bam.
oh god, I need to turn on YouTube and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Oh god,
Like-
everything's sinister. I'm doing blow.
There you go.
Yeah, it's basically.
I don't know. I just I loved just how out of control it got, and just it kept going down the rabbit hole. And like, okay, so the younger brother is snapping, he gets taken out. Then the older brother starts to snap, he gets taken out. Then the friend starts to unravel, so he gets taken. It's just, I'm like, oh my god, they just keep killing everyone. What is happening right now? It was
I mean,
just-
you went in blind when you went to see that at cinema, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was
Like,
like,
you
I
must
was a
have
kid.
been
I was
like,
18.
What the fuck have I
Yeah,
just...
I-
What?
I couldn't believe. I got out of that movie. I was so depressed and so I was actually feeling ill coming out of that movie after what I had just seen. I'm like, oh my god, like I can't believe that.
I can't blame
And
you.
it was
Like, it was very, very just like, there was nothing. You didn't think, oh, thank God for that. You know, oh, the good guy won or got, you know, or came clean.
oh no, that was like that ending. That was just. It was supposed to be, I assume, supposed to be just depressing from start to finish. Like the way it ends, and they inherit the Cameron Diaz and John.
Oh, the
Favreau
way it
inherit
ends was the
kids.
biggest, like, what
Oh
the...
my god!
Cameron
It
Diaz
was
is just
like-
covered in spots and like...
It was just, this film does not give a shit about how you feel about anything. Like,
Nope.
it's just like, I don't care what.
It
I don't
literally
care if you
didn't
want a
care.
happy ending. I don't care which characters you like. I don't care about any of it. It was just, oh, but see, I loved it for it. I loved the fact that it just did not give a shit. I just
Man.
loved it. It was
I mean,
so good.
more power to you, you know, like, and don't get me wrong, like everyone's got a film where they're like, yeah, I like that. And it's like, really? And it's just one of those, it's a guilty pleasure. It's a certain event in your life where, you know, you might have seen it blind or caught it on TV in the middle of the night. Like, I get it. But for me, like, I'm happily can watch old movies. I can watch cheap movies. I can watch B movies, and I can try and find the
Tango and
redeeming
Cash
parts
mate.
of them. But I really struggled. Montaigne's not in the reel. Apparently, he's been looking. He's been analyzing the reel.
Oh, this is a different reel. I got to copy it from the other one. So the
So
main podcast has the right thing that I've updated all the way. I forgot to update it in this because fuck you, Mort. I mean, I love you, Mort.
we love you, Mort. We love you.
I could try and fix it right now. It would mean jumping to the other scenes and then back. It probably wouldn't break.
It probably is going to break, isn't it?
It would break.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know.
Oh,
There you go. There. Okay. I'm
Everything's
grabbing the
fixed
patron
now.
skull and then we're literally going right back.
there you go. Now Mort's happy.
I don't know.
Mort's happy now.
But now we're on XboxEra podcast.
I'm copying the patron list and then I'm going back over. There we
He's
go.
he's
Ciao
literally
for-
just
ciao for
swapping
now.
some.
We're on
And they
ciao
won't be
for
able to hear
now.
I can hear you
Well-
again. Hi everyone. There you go,
I'd
Mort.
love
You happy?
to see. I'd love to hear from our patrons, like
I'm updated.
if they watched it and if they did, what on earth they thought. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to see if
Yeah,
anyone else was like, yeah, what movie are these guys watching? Let me see if I can check it out.
Brit watched it. From what
did
I
he
can tell,
really?
Brit watched it. From what I can tell, Brit watched it.
I'm very curious.
Well, he's
to
a
see
big
what
Kobe
Brit
Ty
thought.
fan.
I've never seen John Favreau.
I
I haven't seen John Favreau looking that young in like.
I know.
Yeah, I
He-
know.
It wasn't
In a
just
long
thinner;
time.
it was like nowhere near as wide. Like he has gotten very wide in his older age. His head's
Yeah.
just big. In that movie,
Yeah.
his head's not like half the size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
That
you
was
watch
back
it?
in a time when Christian Slater was still a big name actor.
Yeah. I was like, I haven't seen Christian Slater in something since Bad Robot or Mr. Robot. Sorry, Mr. Robot.
he's
He was
sort of
really trying to
making
be
a
young Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he's kind of making a semi comeback.
Is he?
But it's got that dude from Home Alone as well. What's his name?
Yeah, Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
Daniel Stern. Like it's got a lot of, especially actors who are I mean, they were kind of big names back then, some of them, but some like Jeremy Piven's bigger now, or at least during Entourage's peak.
And allegedly, Jeremy Piven is a massive jerk that nobody
I've
likes.
heard.
Yeah,
I've
real
heard
That
bad.
he's a bit of a
doesn't surprise
douche.
me.
Mhm.
That doesn't particularly surprise me. But if you look at the cast of this movie, like Cameron Diaz, Christian Slater, Daniel Stern, Jon Favreau, even that Leland Orser, who's one of those character actors that's like just always there in a lot of movies.
Is that the one that
Jeremy
broke her
Piven.
nose? The wife that finds out.
I mean, that's Jean Triplehorn.
Oh yeah. I knew I recognized her.
Yeah, but no. Leland Orser is that dude that's always sniveling.
Oh, he
and
was.
they
Yeah,
buried him out in the desert.
he played a hologram in Star Trek Voyager. That's where I
I,
recognized him from.
I've known him from other stuff. But yeah, there was.
It
so
was a
that's-
surprising cast. Like, I wonder how they felt filming it. The only shot
don't
that
know,
I
man.
think had any redeeming value, where I was like, "That's a cool shot," was the sight of the murder scene when they started cleaning up the bodies, and they had the kind of like the time run through of them like
Cleaning it all
mopping up the blood, and like, and the
Yeah.
camera just stayed there. But again, that was again at a weird Dutch angle, and I don't know. I can't say I loved it, Nick. If I was to give it a star rating, honestly, it would be a 1 from me. Like, I would never. If anyone said, "Oh, you got a really dark," I would be like, "Don't ever watch this. It's just not fun. It's just not fun. It just wasn't for me, bro." Love
I
you.
wonder if it's. I want to check. I wonder if it's one of Pete Berg's first movies.
It is. It might be his very first.
I mean,
I
and
was
he's
about to
done
say,
he's done some cool stuff. Like, he's done ridiculously terrible movies like Battleship, which I actually loved. That is a popcorn movie. Have you seen Battleship?
no. I'm not
Rihanna.
interested in seeing it at all.
Mate, honestly, you want stupid, dumb fun? Go and watch Battleship.
Nah.
Dude,
Even I
it's a
have my
video game
limits.
movie.
Even I have my limits.
Bro, they handbrake an aircraft carrier with an anchor, and it's fighting
Yeah.
aliens.
And the funny
And-
thing is, I like that actor, that dude that was in Thingo from Mars.
Yep.
You know that dude? What's his name? He's
The-
in that Mars movie, the Disney Mars
Oh,
movie.
Yes.
Oh, John Carter.
Yeah, John Carter from Mars. It's got him
Yeah.
in it. I like him.
Honestly,
I don't mind
he's
him
good
as an
fun.
actor.
He's good fun in it. It's not terrible. I mean, it's not great either, but like I can watch that, and Battleship was a better movie than Very Bad Things.
Okay. I'm trying
Like,
to see if it was his first actual
I'd rather
movie.
watch The Room than Very Bad
It
Things.
was. Very Bad Things was his first movie.
Wow.
It was. It was his very first movie.
Go figure. And he ended
Interesting.
up doing Welcome to
And-
the Jungle, Spencer
Yes, he did.
Confidential,
And Welcome
Patriots
to the Jungle.
Day.
Welcome to the Jungle was his second movie.
Wow.
See,
Jeez.
I clearly have a thing for Pete Berg movies.
Clearly.
Friday Night Lights. Oh, I love that movie.
I would rather watch Birdemic than this movie.
He did The Kingdom. Oh, God, he did Hancock.
Oh God, Hancock.
That's a blemish. That's a blemish.
Doesn't he
Oh.
shoot a load of man juice through a ceiling in Hancock? I'm pretty sure he does. He has an
I
orgasm
can't
that
remember.
is like a
Yeah.
mile-long
No, you're
shotgun
thinking
blast.
of Scary Movie. I actually thinking of Scary Movie.
I thought
No,
Hancock
there
did
is a
that too.
sex thing in Hancock where he
Is there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
And let me put this on YouTube. I'm sure we won't get in trouble. Hancock.
He directed
Sex
Ballers.
scene.
I love that TV show, Ballers. So good.
Did a couple episodes of The Leftovers, which is incredible. Yeah, super
Yeah,
climax
Leftovers.
scene.
Leftovers was a great film. A great series. Leftovers was awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. But again, I saw it when I was like 18.
Yeah, it's got
And
a
I-
special place for you.
I had never seen anything like that before up until that point. Like, and you got to remember, you're talking to someone who, because when I was a child, when I was a very, very young
Accuracy.
child, both my parents worked at video stores when I was a child. So I was exposed to a lot of movies that someone as young as me probably should not have been. as a result of that.
Fair.
Because my parents had me very young. They were like 21 when they had me. So they probably didn't have the maturity to be like, no, our very young child should not be watching House and Alligator and all these other movies that I was watching as such a young child.
Yeah.
But despite that, I had still not seen anything like Very Bad Things to that point in my life. So, yeah, Very Bad Things did messed with my head. Even as a 17, 18-year-old, that messed with my head. Just
I
how...
can imagine it would, dude. Like,
Oh,
holy shit. It's
It messed with the back of her head too.
it was so depressing, and it didn't let up. Like, it
No.
just did not let up. It didn't
was
give
just
you a
very
chance.
mean. It was very
Yeah,
mean. All of
it
its
was-
characters were mean.
It never gave you a chance to just settle.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as Piven killed her, that's it. That was it. It didn't stop. It just didn't stop. And I was like, oh my God. It was unrelenting in its goal to depress you
Yeah.
and just make you hate everything.
It definitely did. It definitely did not hold back at all. It was like, yep,
Oh,
I'm gonna be mean.
yep.
But
It was
yeah,
full on.
it's definitely not for everybody. So if you're feeling particularly masochistic, go nuts.
If
Yeah,
you're an
again.
incel and you hate women, then, you know.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they really wanted you to dislike Cameron Diaz, didn't they?
A little bit. It did feel that way. Yeah.
She was a bitch.
She's a movie
she-
villain.
But I think that was the only really surprising twist is when she found out, like, John Favreau's like,
Yeah,
and she's like,
man up.
I'm getting my wedding. You're going to sort this out. We got all this
She's like,
money.
Fucking man up. Man up. I was like, oh, she's worse than them.
Yeah.
And then what she did to Christian Slater.
Yeah. There was no way he would have lived.
Wow. I
No
was
way.
like, whoa. Oh my God. She was full on. She just absolutely
Monstrous.
destroyed him.
Poor Christian
yeah.
Slater. He didn't deserve that. Oh wait, no, he did. He was horrible.
Yeah, he was doing it all for the money.
Yeah.
And like he was so twisted in his head that he thought they knew.
Yeah.
He was like, where's the money? Where's my money? Where's my cut of the money? And Favreau's like, what are you talking about? It's like, dude, he's like, mate, I did not kill all these people to like not get any of the money. I'm like, oh my God.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Absolute-
man. It was like, it was so
absolute
full on.
madness.
It was just crazy stuff. Crazy.
But yeah, that was our selection of movies.
Yes.
So what are we doing next episode? What was the decision?
So,
It was 65.
We've decided 65, which has already come home to digital platforms.
Yeah.
65 and The Raid. You were talking about The Raid last week. You've talked about The Raid before. I've never seen The Raid.
Okay, you're in for a treat. You
So-
are in for a treat. So you haven't seen The Raid yet?
No, but I have
Okay.
already seen 65.
Same. So I won't. Let's not talk about it here.
Yeah,
Obviously, because
Yeah.
we'll save that for our wonderful patrons. But yeah, so
No, 65 and The Raid for the next episode.
interesting.
It'll be
Two
in
very
May. We'll let you
different
know ahead of
movies.
time.
Yes,
Yep.
we will.
Yep.
But yeah, man, it feels so weird doing a podcast that's only like,
I know.
Wow.
It's only been 40 minutes.
my God.
If we go another
so
12
weird.
minutes, where the average IGN Unlocked episode, they cap 52 minutes every week now.
Well, they never
they
go
really?
beyond 52 minutes.
Yeah, they've been 52
Wow.
minutes every time I look.
What?
Interesting.
Hard edit to 52 minutes.
What? Why?
I don't know.
That's not long enough. That's not
Man,
long enough.
I can't.
Like this is too short, but at least it's a Patreon thing. So
Yeah, this isn't a we're looking to get a ton of engagement. I don't put any ads on it. So you never get an ad coming in, you never get an ad going out. Just for our
Man.
patrons. Nice little extra.
I
I
can't.
I'm trying not to read Brit's comment. About
60.
65.
Brit,
I'm trying not to
I'm
read
looking
Brit's
forward to.
comment.
I'm looking forward to the next show.
We're gonna do our best to keep Nick from constantly having us watch bad things. We'll try.
So many movies lined up that we could watch. So many. I like the
watch,
blend of new and old. I like the blend of new and old, though.
After we do the Raid and the Raid 2 eventually, we need to do Killzone 2, which might be my favorite martial arts movie.
No thanks.
At some point. What? It's a Tony Jaa movie. Those are incredible. Shut up, idiot.
We are doing Stardust at some point.
Yeah, I'd like
the
to do an
future.
episode of Stardust and a Princess Bride because again, Nick hasn't seen.
I haven't seen A Princess Bride, and I remember the VHS tape. My dad had the VHS tape because
What
again,
blows
my
my
dad
mind
worked
about
at a
that,
video
Nick,
store.
is Princess Bride is like
It's supposed to be a classic.
it's designed to be like the quintessential kids.
It's a comedy,
coming
isn't
of
it?
age. No, it's an adventure
No?
like Stardust.
It has
That's it.
comedy in it, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah,
Right.
like Stardust, it has comedy in it. But the reason I suggested pairing it with Stardust is because of their similarities. More than anything else.
Stardust is amazing, though.
Yes,
Stardust
it is.
is.
It's
Oh
a
my
Sure,
really
you
god!
can't give it up. Nope.
Oh, no,
Robert
okay.
De Niro as a gay pirate was just man.
It's all right,
seriously.
Captain. We never knew you was a whoopsie. Brilliant.
Yeah. I
Like,
loved
so
it.
good.
It was
And
so
good on
good to.
De Niro for
It was
doing
just-
that.
Yes, it was great to see De Niro not be mafia guy for once.
Yeah, and have some fun.
Yeah,
So true.
But we shouldn't spoil that.
Yes.
shut up,
Sorry.
idiots.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesse's like right now.
I'm
But
not
yeah.
just shaking my head because it's what you always do.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna have a podcast about this. Also, let's go off on it for like 5-10 minutes.
Impromptu addition to this podcast, Stardust.
Yeah, no, let's not do it. The tangents to tangents. But
Yeah.
hey, yeah, there you go. As always, patrons, we love you guys. Thank you ever so much for your support and YouTube
Yes.
members.
Thank
You guys rock. Thank you, Jesse,
We
for
do
giving
this
up.
for you. We do this for you. I'm up 2 days in a row at 8 a.m. at 7:30 a.m. for a
My
podcast.
heart bleeds.
For you. For you.
A big thank you to Jesse, as always, for giving up his time and helping us two idiots
Yep.
look at
Mm.
least somewhat professional.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys on the next episode. It might be a little bit longer than 2 weeks. It might be more like 3 or something.
We did 2 and 3 weeks, so it'll be sometime in May.
Yeah, it'll be sometime in May. But we've got a lot of games coming out, so
And
there's
we'll
that.
see you this time tomorrow for the
The
Xbox
Xbox
Era
Era
podcast.
Yeah,
Where all of a
Yep.
sudden there's a crap ton to talk about. We went from nothing to like a lot.
all of the
in the
news.
space of
John,
48
you and I have
hours.
good gaming PCs. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'll be playing on. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for
We'll
watching.
see you all tomorrow. Thanks very much. Ciao for now.